So the conversations we were having prior to my starting the recording button were for your benefit. More of a broad view of looking at things correctly on Earth without getting caught up in one side of a political coin or another, or one religion or another. Because politics and religions on Earth are only on Earth. They do not exist like they do on Earth anywhere else. This says Earth is very much behind, far behind the rest of the galaxy. Because human beings didn't start on Earth. They were billions of years old. And then people get on Earth and think this is their first life and only life, and they're a human being, and and they think they're favored by the supreme being, whatever they think that is. When in fact, it's the greater God beyond Earth has no favoritism at all in it, like they are taught. Usually people are taught that for one thing on this planet, money. Just to get more money. And it's brought to people growing up here for thousands of years. It's never changed. So Earth is not headed, as it is now, in a survivable direction. Unless we get help from beings out amongst the stars, fellow human beings and other races, that have already worked out these childish differences millions, hundreds of millions of years ago. They know how to fix things, clean atmospheres, clean polluted water, recharge oceans, free energy, zero-point energy. They know about how to tap into that outer space void. It's not a void at all. It's nothing but pure living power. And if you know how to tap it, you can move it through your craft out the other end, and it doesn't even have a tailpipe. It doesn't pollute anything. Energy cannot really be used. It can only change from one form to another. The hue energy is inexhaustible. It cannot be used up. This is something that other races have found out. So they cooperate with it. They make incredible advances, not just socially, politically, spiritually. They go way beyond just religious belief into direct experience. They grow up with direct experience. They don't grow up being brainwashed and lied to by politicians. Earth is just packed full of dishonest behavior. And most people, they call it normal business. I don't. I don't blame the people of Earth for the way they are, because I happen to know what was done to them that they do not know, and how they ended up on Earth with no memory. I mean, none. They have this lifetime they grew up with, their childhood, their adulthood, their college, whatever experience and work, and that's it. Nothing about their life before they ever showed up on this planet, unconscious as a rock. And everybody thinks that's normal. And as you all know, it is not normal at all. You all knew that, or you wouldn't have found this work. You wouldn't have found the hue. The hue expansion ray is a name put on the omnipresent living power. First word, first sound behind creation, that is infinitely beyond what anybody's made it up to be on Earth in any religion. It's infinitely beyond their tiny little consciousnesses about it. And people on Earth, the beings that are running bodies, have the ability, under the right conditions, to open themselves up to the one living power that is the void of space beyond Earth. That whole black area, dark blue, is what people call Holy Spirit. They have no idea that it is. Where did they think the Holy Spirit was? Somewhere behind the dark blue area of space, hidden somewhere you can't see. It's not. It's a practical universe. So the more people on Earth become aware of what this omnipresent living power is, the more balanced, the more free, the less misdirected from fear of the present and future they become. It's very simple. You cannot focus on fear of the present and future and also utilize the higher faculties of the Atma at the same time. What is the Atma? It is you. What shape is it? What does it look like? People aren't taught this on Earth at all, anywhere. It's round. Planets and moons and suns and stars are round for a reason. They are made in the image of their creators. And that's all of us. You go back enough billion years and you are up in the higher worlds in the source, helping to create this madness down here. Beautiful, but a lunatic bin. Failed experiment of good and evil. Oh man, was it ever a failed experiment? It did not work. It failed. How would anybody know how it was going to come out until we put it in place and started playing in it? Nobody knew. This whole concept of evil, opposite of positive, meaning negative, is nothing more than the illusion of a split in the one power that people run through their being. 50% one way, 50% another. It splits them in half like a cracked bell. And their consciousness and their energy that comes to them from outside Earth is grounded into the Earth. And they go around in circles like their foot is nailed to the floor. They're trying to run out of the fire, but they just go in a circle. So something comes along when you cross paths with the first sound behind creation, the first word that is missing from every religious book on this planet. It isn't a written word. It is a first sound. It is mimicked by the word hue, that's the first half of the word human, hidden in plain sight. And when it worked with, it opens the door through the pineal gland in the center of the brain. It's one of the secrets the Vatican, well, I don't want to say who. It's one of the secrets different powerful religious groups don't want people to know. And some of the priests know it. Because you start turning people onto that, they start getting free, and their whole system has to change. This is not a bad thing. It's not a destructive thing, because people on earth think in terms of righteous and self-righteous and evil and good, and they can't think differently because they haven't woken up enough yet to do that. So they're not capable of seeing beyond Earth. They see what they see out of their two eyes when their eyes are open in Earth's atmosphere, and that's it. They're basically terrorized subconsciously to see anything beyond Earth. They're capable of it, but they will not do it. Out of fear. Implanted. Fears they picked up over billions of years and billions of lives, and not just in the physical universe, on multiple dimensional levels. That's a big nut to crack. That's a tight knot that has to be unwoven carefully by beings who know how to unravel that without destroying people. Because the truth is, when the positive and negative streams, which were created, split into two apparently opposing forces, they really aren't opposing at all. They're supposed to revolve around each other in harmony, like the yin and yang symbol, surrounded by a superior one living energy. And then people can manifest things without creating opposites in space-time, without creating karma and reincarnation. It prevents people from having a high enough consciousness to remember how to turn on genomes on the DNA that have been shut down, either done to them or by their own choice. Everyone should have a photographic memory. Everyone should use 100% of the brain they have. We use 6 to 10% of 100% brain. Does that make any sense to any of you at all? How can that make any sense? This is how ignorant people are on Earth today. They limit themselves with these concepts. Oh, the speed of light can only go 286,000 miles and some change per second. Because it was determined by physical eyes viewing light in Earth's atmosphere. And they use the same concept to determine how fast it goes across the universe, but they're not looking at it correctly. There is no limit to the speed of light. It does not take billions of years for light from other galaxies to reach us. It's a continuous, lit, connected, networked stream. Stars don't blink in on and off. Everything is connected. The doorways and portals of energy that run through stars, that run through the center of galaxies, are connected to each other. Atmas that run bodies, the real soul, the spherical being, round, spherical, that's what we really look like. It's on the front cover for the first time in Earth's history. An original artwork published on the front cover of the Emerald Doorway book. It's the only place on the planet where you can see what you look like. It's pretty, it's beautiful. We're not bodies. You've never been bodies. You've never been a body ever, but you've run many and forgotten most of it. There's a couple assigned to each of us. In my case, I work with Satnam and Turelian. But there's a Galactic Alliance couple that works with me too, by my request, to keep any fears I might have turned off for the journey as well, because I conduct them. My job is to guide them. My job is to use my body, which is in this trance state called sleep, telepathically use the vocal cords so you can gain benefit from the journeys. They cost almost nothing compared to what people charge for everything else on this planet. People will pay their life's work, blood, sweat, and tears and fortunes into things that don't help them their whole lives, and generally won't pay for things that actually do benefit them and change them. It's a subconscious perversion, a misdirected subconscious fear that causes people to think this way. That is what has to be. It's like a bad addictive habit. Dwelling in fear. Get on the internet any day and you can dwell in fear all you want. It's everywhere. Confusing deliberately. So you have to be able to stay detached and see the truth that's being unfolded on Earth between all the lies and all the dishonesty, fake news, right news, corrupt politicians putting out whatever they want their brainwashed people to see and not the truth. This is what you're getting. Everybody knows it. It's like being mindlessly entertained. And this is what people are, mindlessly entertained. Now I've turned off your mics as we start the journey further. Any sounds in your background will not be part of the recording, but you can always turn your mic on if you need to, especially when there's just a few people. Shantiel and Tonaltiel and Dantam and Lamtam are the names of two couples, Galactic Alliance personnel. Don't think of the Galactic Alliance personnel as like something you've heard about in the UFO communities or disclosure communities. It's far beyond that. It's not reptilian or gray or blue avian or Nordic or any of those. Those are tiny little organizations in a much greater organization. And it's only recently that the Galactic Alliance itself, the real source that runs more than half the galaxy, has made itself known to people on Earth through this work. It's the first time this has ever happened. So things are really underway. Ask yourself this question: why are these videos allowed to exist? Why don't they shut down the satellite? Why don't they suppress it if they're afraid of it? The answer is because it's not under their control on Earth. They would never say that to the public, but there are things they know happen that they can't control. It's out of their control. All the UFOs and ships people have seen since the beginning of time, it's particularly since the end of World War II, have never retaliated from being attacked or even killed by fear-ridden people on this planet. You have to ask yourself why that is. Because they're not like people on Earth. They're here to try to protect us from ourselves, and they've been here a long time. Or all life on this planet would be dead and gone, right? 1950s it would have happened. There'd been a nuclear war, been over. If they hadn't been here already. The fact that they're around is the most highly classified thing in existence, way higher classified than the B-2 bomber or the hydrogen bomb. Those are tinker toys compared to what's known out among the stars amongst the races. The mastery of genetic science was accomplished hundreds of millions of years ago. Longer than that. This is just becoming to surface, starting to become aware in people on Earth. And it's not coming from people on Earth. It's not coming from PhDs on Earth from what they learned in college. It's being fed to them in a certain way from off-world. Two of these couples are beside two of you. Another couple just as advanced is beside one of the other people here. I won't say which, it doesn't matter. They're here to go on the journey with us, but also to keep your subconscious fears, whatever they may be, from whatever lifetime, from any of your bodies, turned off for this journey. Because where we go on this journey is all the way to source and back. We bring back with us energy that cannot be obtained inside Earth's atmosphere. You can get the hue from out in space, but it's not the same as getting the hue from the source itself. There is a difference. One is a much higher vibration of the same hue than the one in space. There's no negative nature or positive nature in outer space. There is in the polarities of planets and moons and suns and stars and galaxies turning on their axis to create gravitational fields. And yet they float in an energy that is not a gravitational field. It supports all that. There are beings who actually manage that and keep it all doing what it's doing. They're the most advanced beings in creation. They're called silent mentors. Silent ones in some circles, but really silent mentors. Because in recent years, they have decided to become mentors to more than just the Say Rays. They only do this in the Hue Expansion Ray Academy for now, nowhere else. Although they can help you in Satnam's realm as well, anywhere above the void. But you will not cross paths with them on Earth. These beings are far too big and far too powerful for that. Any fear a person carries is like a resistance on a stove, heats up the coil. That's why a electric stove gets hot and glows. But for human bodies, the Hue Expansion Ray flowing through them would burn its way through those resistances. If there wasn't some regulation to it, it would destroy your body instantly. A silent mentor would just turn you into a pot. You wouldn't even be powder. You'd just vaporize on the spot. They do not have an interest in mentoring individuals like a master teacher would. So where we're going, these fortunate few, is to a place where we can rub shoulders with such beings. And master teachers on one side, silent mentors on the other. Couldn't be a more beneficial location. You do not have to worry about or figure out how the hue is carried to you, through you, when you return to your body on Earth. It knows what it's doing. The fact that you've chosen to cooperate with it is a mark of your own evolution through billions of years. Think about that for a moment. I'm going to send out the hue 6 times. Do it with me silently. I'll do it out loud so you'll hear my vocal cords, but it's really telepathic. It's the hue coming through me, through you, to Earth for its benefit. Not just yours, the benefit of all life. These wars become ended. All this nonsense stops when the energy in Earth's atmosphere begins to be charged. Watch what happens. I'll begin those hues now. Do them with me. Hue. Hue. You. I bring this up time and again because you have not been taught growing up here anything near anything like correctly. This is planet Earth. When you imagine going to the store, it is not your brain or anything to do with your brain that is doing that. The fact is, the human brain is not meant for that purpose. No one can prove where imagination, that it exists somewhere in brain cells, like a camera projecting images on the other side of the brain into brain cells. They're like a motion picture. They don't work like that. How stupid, how silly that is. It's theoretical. They just make it up because they don't have any answers. It's not your brain that imagines anything. People on Earth do this all the time. Imagine everything. They don't have a clue where it's coming from. So they just think it's coming from the gray matter in their skull. It's not. They're atmas, and they're seeing this imagination crushed down to just seeing things in Earth's atmosphere. And then the body follows where you imagine. Bodies do not run themselves. There's no such thing as a human body running itself, running the heart on its own by itself. There's nothing in a brain that makes it start working when a baby's born. Just because it breathes, people have heard there's something called soul, or something they can't touch or see or understand, that's making that body work. And this is true. But they've long since forgotten what that is or what it looks like, or that they are even the Atma or soul and not the body. On normal, countless hundreds of millions of worlds in our galaxy alone, people know this stuff. They grow up knowing this stuff. They don't have corrupt governments. They don't have taxation. They don't even allow money. Because they know it corrupts people. Meaning, people that have subconscious fears will corrupt the use of it. That's the problem. They do not have these subconscious problems. So they make wise decisions collectively. The most advanced, evolved, highly enlightened beings run their governments for them and really do it for the benefit of all the people. It's way beyond democracy or any government on earth. And yet for them, it is just normal. We, all of you, used to be normal in other bodies, human and others, out in the galaxy, before you got stuck and trapped and put in a body on Earth and made to forget all of it. What people on Earth do not realize is that's reversible. They don't even know that it's possible or even where to start. All of us had to start somewhere. All of you had to start somewhere. If you think about your background and other paths, years, decades spent just getting ready to step into the direct experiential way. And that is not a way that is organized through any built organization or religion on this planet. You got to get outside of Earth to get aboard that ship. This is common sense. I am not criticizing or finding fault with religious beliefs or political beliefs, because all that nonsense of fighting each other over the spoils of space drops away when people recover who they are. It just doesn't exist anymore. No struggle, no effort. You just change. You're hovering near the ceiling. There is a man and a woman projecting a form about 36, perfectly flawless, beautiful, handsome. And there's you, a spherical being, hovering between two other spheres. And you're showing them a 36-year-old, if you're a male, perfectly handsome, 36, flawless. If you're a female, the same. Those forms are not astral bodies. They look human, well dressed, but they are a projection from the white core of the spherical atom of the soul that you are. This is a fact. I'm not making this up. I didn't go to some university, find some guru on earth somewhere that could teach me this stuff. They didn't know it. I wasn't bright enough to make it up out of my brain cells. Are you kidding? This was brought to earth from outside of earth, without those distortions in it. You might say it's a bit of a miracle that such things as these little journeys for a few people even take place on a planet as backwardly misdirected from fear as this one is. And yet, not only do they take place, not only are they protected, but they're for the benefit of all the people on earth. All the religious beliefs, all the political systems. This is not about one favoring one over another. This is about bringing an enlightened conscious awakening into Earth's atmosphere, charging it up. Purely practical. This involves science people on Earth have no clue exists at all. And yet it is science. It's also spiritual. Because true spirituality is knowing, not just belief. Belief is like theory or theoretical. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you believe whatever you want, but belief alone does not give the experience of knowing with confidence who you are as a being or how to co-create with the source behind all life. And here we come to a major point. Our purpose for existing as beings, that people have been asking God and praying to God or whatever they pray to give them the understanding of why they exist. It's not to exist one lifetime and go to some heaven somewhere and sit on your duff all day without any training, no experience, and then be expected to be set free in some heaven, because that would destroy such a place. So we go there. Where we're going, fear cannot be brought with you. That's why the Galactic Alliance couple functions in this service to keep your subconscious problems you have yet to master turned off for this journey. So when you imagine you're near the ceiling, you're at the ceiling looking down at your body in the trance state called sleep. The 6 U's we did connected us through the pineal gland, a doorway from the Atma, the real you, from the source out in space, to your body, through your body, out through the walls of your home and into Earth's atmosphere to begin to recharge it. You are part of the solution now, not part of the problem. The more you become aware of this, the better off you will be. There's a bright golden white light, which is the hue coming from space. It's being funneled or channeled through Ambassador Trellian, Satnam, and many other beings, including myself, who get out of our own way so the one source energy can pass through you telepathically. Telepathy meaning the pure communication channel that cannot be perverted by lower energies or positive and negative. It cannot be harmed. It cannot be penetrated. It cannot be controlled by any power, force, or being or technology anywhere in the lower worlds of time and space. At all. Period. And it is in charge now. It always was. That energy moving through the ceilings flashes brighter, and you find yourself in space around Ambassador Trellian in a circle of fellow beings. I'm standing by his right side. Light C is standing by his left side. The 3 of you are in a circle equidistant from each other, and there are master teachers between you. Margaret's further to the right, opposite me, right near the earth and just directly, probably in front of what we see earth in the distance is Master Ramu. On the opposite side away from further out in space is Master Opelum. And Al is further out in space to the right of Master Opelum. Li is further to my left. You're standing there in a luminous body, well dressed. The Atma you are is hovering above it, as it always does. Without fear, you're able to awaken the higher faculty of projecting the original human-like perfect form you show to each other, so people know who you are. That takes a certain form, a certain, I don't want to call it personality because this is much beyond personalities on earth. But it's your real essence. The couple hovering beside each of you is also projecting down below them a man and woman standing beside you in a Galactic Alliance uniform, so you remember and identify who they are. Galactic Alliance symbol in the right chest area, a silver golden galaxy, suspended above the bulgy nucleus, a four-sided golden quartz-capped pyramid, and above that, in triangular formation, 3 cobalt blue stars. That is for the Galactic Interdimensional Alliance of Free Worlds. It's not some federation. It's not Star Trek. I'm not putting that down. I like the movies. But warp core driven radioactive reactors in space, forget about it. It is never going to happen. People don't get around the universe playing in ships like that. They don't have radioactive cores. There are people on Earth in scientific circles that are classified that know this very well. They call this type of energy of the universe zero-point energy. It comes from a toroidal field, a field of energy that surrounds everything, every object, every planet, every person. It's donut-shaped. It comes out the South Pole, swings out wide around the spherical being, comes in the North Pole. The same kind of energy exists around your body on Earth. The two fields around the Atma and the body on Earth are connected. The aura is not some slim little layer of a few rainbow colors near the surface of your outer skin. It's much bigger than that and more meaningful than people on Earth yet understand. So even us, the toroidal hue energy that makes this field around us, that makes it around the planet Earth so it can float in this energy that is not positive and negative, in balance with other bodies around the sun, all creating electromagnetic fields, toroidal fields really. They're the same thing. And that energy is non-matter, non-physical, non-DNA, non-atomic, no atoms, and it supports everything that is those things. Up above, master teacher, I would call him, Ambassador Torellian, is at the Endin. Drens from Oceana, where Opelum comes from, hovering there with their tails glowing like crystal opal in bright sunlight, extended out behind them, wiggling their little fingers, thumb, 4 fingers, big toe, 4 toes, just like a human. But they don't look like a human. And they don't look like a salamander or a lizard either. They look like the image of Etta that's shown in the Emerald Doorway book. Just exactly like that. Pale green skin, not slimy or wet. Big bulbous blue eyes. Silica-based DNA structure, not carbon. And so they can set up a charge around their body as a tail and levitate and fly through a gravitational field like Earth's atmosphere or their planet. They do not fly in space this way. They could, but they would suffocate because they are air breathers. They're telepathic. They have photographic memories, just like you're supposed to have. That was suppressed or taken from you long ago. Time to wake up. Up above, Etendin, master teachers. They teach in the Hue Expansionary Academy as well. You can see Light C now, who's moved from Torellian's left side up above. standing just below Satnam. Satnam is about 6 feet tall. The image he shows you that's flawless, about 36. Perfect skin, golden eyes, not yellow. Bronze skin. Looks like he could be someone from India, but he's not. 2 gold bracelets on each of his upper arms, a little white tunic dress from his waist down to his bare ankles. Bare-chested, strongly built. And above him hovering a massive Atma. All the colors of the rainbow and more whiter golden light passing through it. And to each side of them are 2 silent mentor couples who have, for whatever reason, come out of this bottom of this vortex we see of Satnam to escort us to one of their teaching facilities. There are many in the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. The Hue Expansion Ray Academy, and why it's Hue Expansion Ray, is because the omnipresent living spirit, Holy Spirit, divine spirit, omnipresent space out there beyond Earth is a living, conscious, omnipresent energy. It's not an individual. The vortex is quite huge. It's hourglass shaped with a narrow center. Like a tornado, except wide at the bottom and wide at the top. I suppose that's what a tornado looks like too. White golden light, surrounded by blue and green layers of light that look like water. Slowly, clockwise, whirling around the inner vortex, which is moving a little faster. Now up at the end of that vortex, way up at the other end, because it bypasses the lower planes of time and space, to enter what we call the void. The void is a field of energy, conscious living power, above the etheric plane, below the first realm of the higher realities, which is Satnam's mystic Atma plane. The Galactic Alliance couple, there's 8 people, 4 couples, standing by each of our sides. They're just there to keep any subconscious things, because they know you have subconscious minds, which are artificially imposed on you. They aren't real, and we're not supposed to have a subconscious anything. That's the only mechanism through which something can be done to you that can influence you in negative ways without your consent and awareness. Subconscious means you're not conscious of it. Fear is the only thing that keeps us subconscious, part of this. The journey's here. First of all, fear is turned off for the journey. Satnam points out in space between the Earth and the Moon, and we find ourselves projected across the galaxy in a field of energy that's oval-shaped, transparent, brighter golden light coming from Tyrellian's closed fist with thumbs up. He creates this surrounding us like the hull of a spaceship, so we stay together on these journeys. He is the focal point for the journeys. He cannot be compromised or influenced or perverted or attacked or anything like that. And we find ourselves approaching a planet down one of the other spiral arms of the galaxy. And then you see a shift in energy, and we are moving into the 3rd higher parallel dimension of the physical universe. There are many layers to the physical universe before we even get to what people call the astral plane. People don't remember any of this on Earth as they should. We're coming down to the atmosphere of a world that has a kind of a green, blue, little bit of lavender in the clouds, but it's luminous. And these mystical turquoise blue ocean, light tinge of green. These are luminous properties. It's a big world, 4 times bigger than Earth. It only has several large islands near the equator. No polar ice caps. 3 planets or moons the size of Earth. with populaces on them, no polar ice caps, orbiting this one big world. And those worlds orbit a trinary star system, 3 suns. Even on Earth, scientists now know from more advanced astronomical telescopes and satellites and equipment in space that the other stars in our galaxy are primarily binary or trinary. Earth has only 1 sun, but most of them out there have 2 or 3. 2 revolving around a bigger one, and then planets revolving around them. This is why there are no polar ice caps on them. This creates conditions conducive to having 4-stranded human DNA, which the more oldest races out there have. Not 2. So where did the other 2 strands, when did they get ripped off? How did that happen? You don't remember the history of the solar system yourself or the Galactic Alliance that you were part of before this life. So you'd really be remembering just coming back to what you already knew. We're going to go into the hue now because we're just coming down into the atmosphere of Oceana. And Master Opellum is now ahead of us, levitating down into the atmosphere. The atmosphere that he is hovering above the form he shows us, showing us a form that he has on this planet, the same age, unaged after 500,000 years. Pale blue skin, jet black hair to his shoulders, beautiful emerald green eyes, slightly pointed ears, blue-gray uniform on, a Galactic Alliance uniform with the Galactic Alliance symbol on the right chest, because he was the master teacher 500,000 years ago that brought more worlds together under the guidance, under the tutorship of Ambassador Trillian back then, to create from a Galactic Alliance, a galactic interdimensional alliance of free worlds. 450 million spacefaring world systems in that organization. Many planets with life on them in each system, not like Earth with its 1 sun. And we're standing on a golden luminous beach. The particles on, they're like gold, bits of gold, but they're glowing. They're transparent gold. The ocean is calm, glowing a foot above the calm waves. The jungle trees are luminous. The leaves are luminous. The sap in the trees and the trunks and the water in them is luminous. This is a planet charged with the hue. The atmosphere you breathe here is luminous. And so as a group of beings around Trillian, we're witnessing Opellum stand on that beach. He points in the background through the jungle trees, and we levitate up and look over this big island near the equator, several others to the right and left of it. And there are clear domes covering 3 4-sided golden pyramids with quartz tops. A big fountain, scalloped blue edge, with water luminous running up and down it, the shape of a fir tree. A shaft of golden white light, and this comes down into all the Oceanan cities. It does today anyway. Etta and Din have a home at the bottom of the Oceanan floor, as you know, in hollowed out volcanic chutes that emptied their lava hundreds of millions of years ago, leaving empty chambers that evolved to be self-contained ecosystems. Both algae and minerals are self-luminous properties. The plants take out all carbon dioxide and produce the oxygen. When you're in a cavern, cavernous city structure, many miles long, half a mile high, they're just huge. It looks like regular bright sunlight in daytime. The drens evolved in these caverns to become levitating, organic, biological creatures. Above Etta and Din, you always see the Atma hovering there. That's the true Etta and Din, not the bodies they're running. The bodies they're running are immortalized. So you see them hovering to the right and left of Opellum's shoulders while he's standing on that glowing golden beach. The Atma hovering above all three. And you realize the Atma is hovering above you, Terrellian, and the Master Teachers here, and the Galactic Alliance people. And you're just here to get a bit of an Oceanian charge. Then we're up in space, following Satnam very rapidly in this oval transparent light that surrounds us. Terrellian's still manifesting that. And we shoot up into the bottom of this vortex, which has followed us in space above planet Oceana. We come out the other end of that vortex and we find ourselves hovering above a white diamond-like beach. We have crossed beyond the void above the etheric plane, meaning physical, astral, causal, mental, etheric, then the void, then the Atma plane. We're approaching the white diamond-like beach of the Atma plane. It's luminous. The trees are monstrously large. Of every kind of tree on Earth and hundreds more you don't know about, all with luminous glowing bark and transparent trunks with golden white light flowing up and down them. There are Atmas that run these trees here. We're moving up above the top of the jungle trees. But first you watch Satnam put his hand out and draws a little particle of this luminous diamond-like sand. It's round. And he throws it into the white core of each of our beings. It makes them brighter. These birds with long V-shaped split tails about a foot long look like a blue jay with big bulbous blue eyes, twin sets of bird wings, and perfectly blended rainbow-colored bodies like the spectrum of light coming through a prism. Hover up, a couple in front of each of us. Open their mouths and begin to sing the hue with mature, perfect, human and male and female voices. And then you realize the hue is moving through the Atma above these bird forms, charging the cobalt blue space that is behind us and below us, called the void. They maintain it. They are silent mentors, every one of them. Then we're moved over the top of the landscape, following Terrellian. Satnam, we look down and look at this fountain in a clearing 100 foot wide on a white stone circular floor. Statue of Satnam in it. There's a golden white light, a cylindrical light flowing down into it. It's a doorway. But we're not going up that doorway. We're traveling over the countryside, following a brown moss-covered luminous path. In the distance, we see a long diagonal blue stone snow-covered mountain range. And in the middle of it is a palatial estate. We're moving up these foot-thick, hundreds of steps, luminously, look like gold quartz, transparent. We approach two big, huge pillars, two lapis lazuli gold-lace pillars, a blue-type stone, holding up a four-sided, golden-sided, quartz-capped roof. In the base, down below this roof, is a single, up a series of steps. A square series of steps goes up to a platform, and there is a single blue quartz-like transparent throne chair. Obviously it's programmed, it's a device. Golden white light is pouring down into it from the quartz top of this roof. And we're going past this, left side of this throne chair. Satnam never sits in it that I've ever seen. And you can see a long white walled corridor running left and right. This palatial estate extends for many hundreds of miles in both directions. And we're moving down this palatial estate. Satnam appears standing by the left wall. It's transparent. And through it you can see that fountain with his statue in it. The other end of the moss-covered path, surrounded by 7 botanical layers of 4-foot-high tropical flowering luminous plants. And then the screen, it's like a computer screen. The whole wall turns on like a computer screen. And we're beginning to see that Satnam can use this to see all of the places in the lower worlds of time and space, every planet, every moon, every star, every being. Whenever he focuses on an area, he can see it projected on this screen. So we get to see Earth, and we get to see our bodies in the trance state called sleep. We get to see the Atma we are is still hovering above the body, but we are also here at the same moment. This is like bilocation, being in more than one place at one moment, because the Atma is not made up of space and time or atoms or molecules or limiting celestial laws or mechanics. And we're traveling down this hallway. At the end of it, you can see it opens up, a rectangular opening opens up to a single luminous white leather-like chair. It's not leather, of course. And we come into this room and surround this chair. Tyrellian is hovering in a beam coming down into it. The Satnam is pointing to this curved, transparent blue cobalt dome up above this circular room. And each one of you, as an Atma, simultaneously sits the perfect form you show each other into this chair. It's a gift. Satnam raises his hand. That's all. Your body is, the chair conforms to your body. The Atma you are, all of you together are hovering above it in a circle. Hard to describe. There's one chair, but you're all sitting in it, because what you're sitting in it is the only two things that can occupy the same space at the same moment is the Atma. Bodies can't be merged into each other. This is not a problem. And then you begin to remember that facilities like this exist all over Satnam's realm. Then you begin to remember you once knew this. And what's happening is the energy coming from Source is pouring down through that cobalt transparent blue glass-like dome, flowing through all of you through the chair and down the bottom of the chair and down to the lower worlds to be a benefit to Earth. It's already taking place. The sound of a single high note of a flute is drawing us upward. And we suddenly appear high above Satnam's realm, high above what looks like a Christmas tree-shaped fountain. It's just further through a triangular opening against the base of a mountain. And we're hovering above it in the golden white light, cylindrical light, coming down in this blue-green Christmas tree-like light that flows in the same shape up and down. It's scalloped edged like a blue scalloped lapis lazuli stone, laced with gold. And then we were shot upward, right up this shaft of light. When we come out the other end, we stop. We're still in this tube of light, but we are now hovering above the Hue Expansion Ray Academy Tower. It is a massive tower, cylindrical, round at its base, built around the outer edge of a white island, surrounded by a donut-shaped blue-green luminous lake and 6 bluestone snow-covered mountains. In the center of a massive, singular, floating landmass, in a more brilliant cobalt blue space. No planets, no moons, no stars. They're not necessary. There's a white diamond-like beach here, like in Satnam's realm, but brighter. And we can see to the left a wave that is continuously to move, to crash continuously on the beach, moving clockwise. It's a beautiful blue tinged with green. And it's moving clockwise around the outer circumference of this huge continent-sized floating landmass. It circles this island, maintains it, supports it, and it never stops. This is run by silent mentors here. This Hue Expansion Ray Academy was built here over the last 10 or 11 or 12 years, Earth time. The combination of master teachers and silent mentors. I was part of that. I had to be, because the whole point of coming here is to be a co-creator with such beings. The only way we can do that is to get all the way to source and literally merge into the energy of it, because we are individuals made of exactly the same energy. We don't lose our individuality. What we merge into is not an individual. You need to understand this. There's no ego, no fear, no subconscious minds. None of that can come with you. None of that can be even brought into the bottom of the void. You can't bring lower bodies made of time and space molecules here. You can't bring fear here, or implants, or programs, or traumas from other lives. That all gets turned off with your sleeping body back on Earth. And then suddenly we look down through this cylindrical tower that tapers inward to a kind of an oval section, transparent, 2/3 of the way up, and then up to a minaret point. It's transparent, it's blue glass-like. Down in the bottom of this center of this tower, on the circular sandy, or looks like sand, is a 4-foot high, 2-foot wide, lapis lazuli, blue stone laced with gold, with rounded edges, flat top, and a 4-foot in diameter, blue crystal transparent sphere hovering above it about a foot, with a cobalt blue star in the center of it. The shaft of white golden light is coming right down through the tower from the source into the star and distributed. And we're going to go right down into the center, the hollowed out interior of the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. And we're moving right down the tower, through the fountain, into this blue star, and we suddenly appear in a circle of beings around Turelian, inside a massive, oval-shaped, hollowed-out interior. Turelian's hovering in the middle of that light. I'm right beside him. You're all in, and other beings with us are in a circle around us. And in the inner wall of this oval chamber are 12 luminous, weeping willow-like trees, gigantic. Broad, green, spoon-shaped, glowing leaves. Standing atop each one is a man and a woman. They look male and female. Each one has a different pastel-colored gown on. Start to the direct west, and that would be a male in a blue gown. Long black hair to his shoulders. Next is a female above a tree. Green gown, long blonde hair to her shoulders. Next is another male. Brown hair to his shoulders. Yellow type of pastel gown, and so forth. There's 12. When you look at the face of a silent mentor standing there, you see golden white light and many dimensional levels of galaxies in their face. You don't see facial features. They don't show them. Above them is hovering an Atma like you, 4 times greater in diameter than us, with twice as many layers of teardrop-shaped faculties. Brighter, lavender violet exterior, golden light around it. And there's a light coming into the top center white core of these silent mentors. And the light coming through Turelian and myself and others, passing through the cylindrical shaft of light from source, is moving through us, through all of you, and through up these trees, up through the silent mentor forms, up through the Atmas they are, and then all the beams from all 12 converge into one nexus in the shaft of light above the center of the hollowed out interior cavern. The energy then moves and changes. Same energy, golden white light, flows through the top of the Atmas, silent mentors, through their forms, down the trees, directly into and through all of you, through the form you project, through the Atma you are, and from the core of your Atma, goes into Turali and myself and other master teachers in a circle inside the dome, inside the cylindrical shaft of light. Then it goes back all the way to source. So in this way, we get to rub shoulders a little bit with silent mentors on one side and master teachers on the other. What we are in between is something being evolved into something greater, a new order of being. Part silent mentor, part master teacher. Silent mentors have no compassion. They're not set up to really care about or watch over individuals, whether they keep or lose bodies or any of that. They run and maintain the mechanics of the entire creation. They don't tire, they don't get fatigued, they don't sleep, they don't eat. And they've been working 24/7 for hundreds of billions of years. And then we're suddenly in a circle of beings up above the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. We look out over the horizon, we can see these white roadways, pure white stones, exiting horseshoe-shaped tunnels at the base of all 6 mountains near the center of this massive floating circular landmass. A white golden light is emanating from these tunnels. There are hundreds of these roads that come out of these tunnels, these 6 mountains, like spokes in a bicycle tire come off of a central hub. They go straight as an arrow all the way to the diamond-like beach. The lands all the way through, every one of these in between these roads have circular clearings to the left and right down every road. Each one is a different type of teaching, instruction facility, all based on direct experience. You can see oceans and rivers. You can see oceans out in the distance, luminous and golden. And they change color as they rotate around the outside of this floating landmass. There's a cobalt blue space, and then there's right where the beach is, this ocean has different colors around it, like in Satnam's realm, but this is brighter. We suddenly find ourselves going down the direct northern white stone roadway, bypassing vast land areas. You see every type of animal here with Atmas hovering above them, switching bodies, learning how to respect all life. That's what you do. You can do that here, you can do it in Satnam's realm below here. But here it's more about mixing it up between master teachers and silent mentors now. The one place where we can go to do that. The one protected place set up to do this very thing. And we're suddenly all the way down that road, moving past the luminous beach. Offshore, looks like we're moving out above an ocean. And there are 12 clear domes covering a 4-sided quartz-capped pyramid. 3 pyramids surrounding a fountain. Like the one we saw down in Satnam's palatial estate, through a triangular opening at the base of a mountain. And there is a silent mentor couple hovering above the golden white shaft of light coming down into this fountain above this dome. And there is a couple standing above each beam. There are 12 of these domes surrounding the outside of the circumference of the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. There is also a silent mentor teaching facility down north, south, east, and west, down the middle roadway in each quarter section, about 2/3 of the way towards the coast, and each one a right turn into a clearing. There, 100-foot wide white stone floors have a 4-foot in diameter blue glass-like sphere with a cobalt blue star in it, and 12 trees. There's a different kind of 12 trees in each quadrant. In the northwest quadrant, we can see there are 12 look like weeping willow trees, like we saw in the interior of the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. And then, around Lemriel, we are shot up this shaft of light above this one teaching dome facility offshore. And we find ourselves moving again up through the bottom vortex of this huge, whirling, hourglass-shaped vortex, which is still above us here. When we come out the other end, we are in the fiery realm, the mystic realm of Agam Purusha. What this being does is much bigger than a silent mentor, more brilliant, hundreds of layers of teardrop-shaped love, very much like the source itself, just not as large. We're in a fiery realm of yellows and oranges and greens and blues and browns and every color of the rainbow swirling around us, disappearing, forming gargoylean type things that disappear and fade. It's the raw power area that Agam Purusha has mastered. So he regulates the raw power of eternity from source and generates it down through the lower planes as an individual being. In the background of this fiery light, he approaches us, and we begin to hear him tell us in a deep baritone voice, very similar sounding to the source itself. Welcome to the plane of the raw power of eternity. Here, I regulate this power down into lower forms of it to support the multidimensional creation. He doesn't tire, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't eat. He doesn't have a physical body. And in the distance we see a massive tree. It's like a silver golden tree of light. It has blue and green tinges to it, very subtle, like a fir tree, but it's not that. It's gigantic. The roots are the size of planets, disappearing down into the floor. Well, there is no floor here. The top of this tree extends beyond sight. In the middle of it is a trunk with golden and white light moving up and down it, transparent. And Agam Purusha has given us permission to go into that doorway, the one and only such doorway. And we find ourselves around Lemriel in the middle of this roaring energy moving up and down, and we're shot upward. When we come out the other end, we are now in a much more vast arena, a much more brilliant cobalt blue space. And in the center of this space is one which looks like a galaxy turning on its axis, just one. And we're speeding in the direction of this outer edge of what looked like stars orbiting the nucleus of a galaxy. We discover as we pass through the outer layers that these are individual luminous beings, spherical, very far apart, like two stars in space. And we pass between these beings, realizing all of us are still there. We are one of these beings. We never left. Everything else is a projection. The bodies you've run, the bodies you have run, the ones on the etheric, mental, causal, astral, physical, and we're suddenly shot into the center white core. This huge spherical presence is hovering above a white disc-shaped island. And we were in the exact center of it. And then we hear a deep baritone voice mixed with the, I don't want to say angelic, give you the wrong idea, celestial qualities of a feminine touch. And it speaks to us. Welcome home, travelers. It takes courage not known on your planet to be here. Here, truth cannot elude you. This is what he usually says to everyone that comes here, as few as they have been. Here, you remember who you are. Here, you remember you were meant to be a trustworthy co-creator with the presence you see before you and around you. I am the nexus, the center of all atmas connected at one point, one focal point. You can speak with me or I with you. But the source, this supreme being that people on earth may call it, is not an individual sitting on a throne. Here, truth cannot elude you. Now you must be returned to run your body back on earth, or it would perish. This place is too far removed from atomic and nuclear structures. And it is the Atma you are that's making the body work and run until it either breaks down and stops working, or you leave it voluntarily. There's a flash of bright white golden light, and we find ourselves hovering near the ceiling where we live on Earth. The Galactic Alliance couple, Shantiel, Tonaltiel, Dantiel, and Lamtiel, and several other couples are still beside all of us, near the ceiling. The white golden light we have brought back with us as a channel from Source is moving down through you, through your physical body in the trance state called sleep, for your benefit, out through the walls of your home, into Earth's atmosphere, continuing to recharge it. And then it enters the core center of 3 golden-sided quartz-capped pyramids. One is at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, one's at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, one is in the hollowed-out interior of a mountain in the Himalayas, hidden there. There are fountains in those 3 pyramids. The statue of Satnam, they are devices, not a person. And they are pulsing golden white light out from that fountain in all 4 directions of each of the 4 walls of this pyramid. The energy being emitted joins into 3 beams that join together in one beam out in space in the hue, and is beamed to a much larger pyramid, 4-sided golden quartz cap, big fountain in the center. And then it's beamed all the way to fountains that have appeared between stars in our galaxy, and to the source, the center, the axis of the Milky Way galaxy, which is a white golden light, like a shaft of light running around, up and down, that all these stars revolve around. It's not a black hole. It only looks black to human eyes that can't see it. And that energy is beamed up this shaft and goes all the way back to Source, into the white core of that presence we call Prime Creator, the Source, or the Ancient One. And it never stops moving, and it's only moving in one direction now. It doesn't go up and down, backwards and forwards. It's not fickle. It isn't matter, energy, space, and time, or molecules, or atoms. Just like none of you are. You are the Atma. We are back. Wake your bodies up and open your eyes and turn on your microphones. When you're ready, let's see if Lee has made it, or if she's gone out of her body. Body's asleep, and I don't know if you made it. Lee, did you make it? Hey, Lee, did you make it? There you are. Good. This journey is still taking place. Just because you've opened your physical eyes doesn't mean it's not continuing, because the hue expansion ray is moving through you right now. If you can turn on your microphone too, Lee, please. If you can figure out where there we go. All right, we're back. I will close this recording down and then we'll chat. We'll do a little questions and answers and just chat. But it's a long enough recording, so about an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, it's, English guided journey, US. But it's still going on. Let me ask all of you how your experience was with this journey. How was it?
Painful.
This is not entertainment. This is direct experience. Changes you. It moves through you for your benefit, yes, of course, but it moves through you for the benefit of others, and not just life on Earth. It moves through you for the benefit of the Galactic Alliance master teachers that went with us on this journey. It's continuous, like the stars in space. Any questions? Let me bring this to a close. Unless you want some questions and answers as part of this, say 15 minutes, it's up to you three. What do you like to do? What would you like to do?
Well, it felt to me like it was 10 minutes, even though it's an hour and a half.
Hour and 45.
Oh, yeah. Well, it felt like 10 minutes.
That's good. Your face looked bright and alive and vital. All of you.
Well, I feel like I walk into and out of the sun.
That's good. You look like it too.
I feel warm. I just inward. Yeah. And it reflects on my body.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Beautiful.
I ran into a man, 60 years old, bald, beautiful skin tone, no wrinkles at all. He fasts 3 days out of 7 every week. That's good, but to do really make great change, you have to fast longer fasts, like 7, 9 days, maybe 14. But not with any idea of starving, because the body will get rid of all the toxins and all the fat and everything else and fix the joints and everything when you give it a chance to do it. So something like that, you drink like a vegetable broth at night, like it's the broth, organic vegetable, paste, bouillon, put it in a pan. Do something like wheatgrass and ginger. You got to maintain the electrolytes and sodium in your system when you do a water fast. A lot of people make the mistake of not doing that, so they don't get through it. So usually the first 3 days you might be a little hungry, but after that you lose all sense of hunger. I've done 14-day fasts before. Decades ago. I need to survive. I need to do them again. Now in present time. And I've done individual days, 36-hour days, over the last 6 months, but getting ready to do a longer one.
I'd like to do that.
Do you do breathing with it, or what kind of activity?
No, I don't try to get all yogi and all the other stuff. It's too much. You just want to not eat, do the water, do the vegetable juice, do the wheatgrass and ginger. Those two, got to keep, and eat nuts and seeds for a week. Prepare for it, like cashews and almonds and sesame seeds and sunflower seeds. You just eat a handful of those and build up your electrolytes, probably from the ginger and wheatgrass. Very powerful. Very antioxidant, though. Very cleansing.
Instead of water, I drink coconut water.
I don't know if that's more of a food, so I don't think you want to do that on a fast.
Yeah.
That's just when you're eating. That's good, healthy stuff, but you don't want to have all of that. You don't want any glucose part of this at all. There's glucose in coconut milk. So you don't want any sugars or anything like that. Then your body will just heal itself and fix everything. I had cancer. I got rid of it. Not through fasting, through Rife equipment. I had cancer. On this elbow, I had a golf ball sized tumor. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's completely gone. There's a lot people don't know about on Earth that's available on Earth, but their fears keep them from accessing it.
I like to know how to do it. What, a list of what you can, you said wheatgrass.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
ginger.
I'm sharing this with you not because I'm preaching it to anyone that might watch this video, because most people on Earth are not ready for this. Their fear of starvation, their fears would kill them. They have to have those first set aside. So they can draw from the omnipresent hue itself, because that's our real nutritional source. It's how we run the body, through the hue passing through the Atma. It's not run because of food. Bodies don't run themselves and walk around and breathe and talk because the brain is a being. It's not.
The pineal
It's
gland.
no, it's not. That's a mechanism. It's a genetic entity. It's not you that runs it. It is energy from you that makes the heart work and the blood circulate through the pineal gland. It doesn't work any other way. And when people know this on earth, then they can let go of their fears of dying, number one, because they relate dying to losing the body that isn't even them. So you can see the problem people on earth are having, because they don't know they're not the body. They think the Atma soul is somewhere in or part of the body. It gets either resurrected or something. They don't really even know. It's not the body that gets resurrected. It just means that you're alive when the body stops working, whether you like it or not. And you move on from there.
You could experience that.
And just knowing that probably gets rid of 99% of all your fear that you've had to endure and suffer from for billions of years and billions of lives on many planes. These journeys, although I did not say it, we did pass through the etheric, mental, causal, astral, Satnam and Turlian kicked your little butts to get you working more with each other and helping you here on earth. We always do that. Longer journeys, I would take time to just describe the etheric, mental, causal, astral, and physical. But this is done every single journey now. And this is permanent for every journey. Group journeys are very important because they do unique things. You guys went down to that white chair at the end of a long corridor in Satnam's palace.
Yeah.
There's no negative nature. There are no egos. There's no money. There's no governments. There's no politics. There's no religions. It is the source of knowing truth beyond religions that everyone hopes to get to. So this is something that people on earth are capable of recovering. But they need a higher energy coming into earth from outside of earth in order to do this. You're getting it now. They get it later. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, any other questions about the journey or any aspect of it?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have two bodies on the mental plane.
Who? What? Who does?
I have.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I have 3 on the etheric.
But they're different personalities, different.
Well, think about the mental plane as being 1,000 times larger than the physical 144 parallel dimensions.
Yeah.
It's very big. And sure, you can run several. It's more complex to do that in each plane, to run more than one. The etheric, it's easier because it's a transparent, luminous body. It's not even molecules or atoms like people think of it. It still has a little negativity, and positive and negative mix in it, but it's mostly 90% just the hue. So people get stuck there for billions of years and don't want to move across the void and go home and complete their journey. This means that the etheric form is just as stuck as you are here.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've got them all talking to each other anyway.
Yeah, but see, that's because you're consciously able to imagine it and work with it. And that's what you're doing, is getting them working.
Yes.
So as above, below, so below, but also as below, so above. So if you, as an Atma, wake yourself up and enlighten this body on earth, reciprocally, it's going to do that for the other so-called higher selves that don't care about you or didn't even aware of you.
Yeah.
It's important to know this because we're still responsible for the forms we're running on each of those planes. So now I'll bring this recording to a close.
Okay.